They'd be like,
Then I'm like, damn,
it'd be like the little white button. It'd be like the white mushrooms you get from the grocery store.
My throat is gunk up. What is going on here? Damn. Snort, snort, snort. Kogan, drip, snort, snort. I got the drip, go.
Yeah, he needs a heavy dose of something, dude.
Kogan, drip, snort, snort. I got the drip, go. Damn, I got the drip, go. I got the tips, go. Damn, I got the drip, go. I got the tips, go. Clear your throat. Please tip me.
Give him a shot of Thorazine.
Clear your throat. Blow your nose. Damn, damn. Snort, snort, snort. Kogan, drip, snort, snort. I got the drip, go. Snort, snort, snort. Kogan, drip, snort, snort. I got the drip, go. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean, these dumb kids. This is what it is, it's dumb kids. This is how life is. Life is not like this. Life is like this. But
Yeah,
I'm Dark Side
it would
Phil.
definitely help.
I am not any other content creator or streamer. I'm Dark Side Phil. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. An e-baking scammer. I'm the guy. Mark my fucking words.
Uh-oh, Street Fighter 6
Anime bitch.
this weekend.
I'm the guy.
Get ready.
14 years as an e-beggar and a scammer and WWE.
Get ready for salt.
champion. Take a look around. I'm the guy. Life is tough right now. I guess I'm proud to be a loser. Down there at level 1. Well, you know what? It's nice at level 1.
Nah.
I'm the guy. An e-baking scammer. Please tip me. I'm the guy. Mark my fucking words. Stupid anime bitch. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. An e-baking scammer.
Yeah, he's gonna rant about the cheaters that got the game early.
Take a look around.
They've already mastered the characters.
Anime bitch.
They've already mastered the characters.
I'm the
They're
guy.
no life cheaters. I think he said they're scum. They're scumbags. They're pieces of garbage. That
hyped for the gifted memberships, and I'm very grateful for that. I mean, thank you. But I hope that doesn't mean that people are going to forego tipping, because that would put me in a bad situation. And in particular,
if you got the game early, you're a piece of trash, according to Phil. You're a cheater, piece of garbage. You should be banned from the FGC for life.
Meal with my wife.
Strung up in the courtyard.
My day off on Tuesday. Tips. Nintendo Online. Tips. Bills and stuff. Tips. Tips are the liquidity of my business. Why are you laughing? Oh, so hilarious that this guy has stuff financially tight. I literally can't afford stuff on Tuesday on my day off, and you're gonna laugh? Oh, it's funny. When you can't go,
Yeah, who is that guy that like
on your day off,
only tipped for Street Fighter? There was a guy,
6 days a week. That's
a
funny.
whale.
No, it's not fucking funny. Now shut up.
And when he stopped playing Street Fighter, then he stopped coming around.
Grocery shopping, tips.
I can't remember his name though.
Tips. Coming up, my day off on Tuesday. Tips. Nintendo Online. Tips. Bills and stuff. Tips. Tips are the liquidity of my business. Grocery shopping. Tips. Meal with my wife. Tips. Coming up, my day off on Tuesday. Tips. Nintendo Online. Tips.
Yes, Jax
Bills and
Raxor.
stuff.
Thank
Tips.
you.
Tips are the liquidity of my business.
Yes, I knew somebody would know. It was Jax Raxor. Then I remember him. He tried to guilt him into like coming back for like other games to tip for other shit.
This one's for all my baby girls.
He's like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while. I mean, I'll play Street Fighter again soon.
A really slow day for me on stream.
But you know, in the
Maybe a lot
meantime,
of support
just
yesterday. You guys,
can you come back?
and you know,
and,
how much you're liking the content I'm doing in a given day.
tip me a
how
little
much you
bit
can
more?
Afford to support that content. Can you argue it's a begging model? I mean, I guess.
This dude is a piece of fucking garbage.
I need this money, I get this money, beg for this money, I want the money. The only time I chill is when I pay my bills. The only time I get
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
Scumbag douchebags and mental cases on the internet still support I'm a beggar and I'm a loser and I'm on level 1. That I can't go on a honeymoon with my wife. I'm paycheck to paycheck. I'm on level 1.
I need this money, I get this money, beg for this money, I want that money. The only time I chill is when I pay my bills. The only time I get to chill is when I spend the bills. I need this money, I get this money, beg for this money, I want that money. The only time I chill
Blue
is
is
when I
chilling.
pay my bills. The only time I get to chill is when I
He's looking out the window right now.
If you are watching his shows and you're paying his bills, you're a fucking, you're.
Today, some shit. Those toxic assholes don't give a shit about anyone else but themselves. They're selfish idiots who just want to get a laugh on someone else's behalf and don't care about the repercussions of their own actions. They think they're protected.
Yo,
because
what's
they're all
up,
anonymous
Mojo?
on the internet, right? So here I am with an actual business being destroyed by that toxic behavior. Big ups to your dad. Me. That's what this is all about and what it's always been. Me. I care about nothing in life. Me.
Oh, apparently,
Human pieces of shit. Kill yourself.
Cobra's almost done working on his rap album.
I don't care about anyone telling me that I need to improve or change. My nigga, I have your IP, I have your name, and I have your address. I have all your fucking personal information. I will come find you in real life.
I'm gonna find out who the fuck you are. Let this be noticed live on the internet. You're fucked and you are done. I'm coming for you.
Me. That's what this is all about and what it's always been. Me. I care about nothing in life. Me. Human pieces of shit. Kill yourself. Me. I don't care about anyone telling me that I need to improve or change. Me. That's what this is all about and what it's always been. Me. I care about nothing in life. Me. Human pieces of shit. Kill yourself. Me. I don't care about anyone telling me that I need to improve or change. But let me tell you something. When your life is all positive instead of negative, it's a much better situation.
You know what? I don't know. I've never heard Cobra rap, dude.
Experience. Look at my life now. I have a beautiful wife.
I've never heard it.
Beautiful life.
But I'm excited
A family, right?
to find out.
Here is so much better than what I had before. Why? Because I'm a positive person. That's why. I never would have gotten to where I am today if I just.
He said he was working on like the last 2 songs.
Being angry, being upset, being jealous, crapping on stuff, shitting on stuff, eating. It's such a way. It's not a way to live. But these idiots actually do this and don't know that. I really have to think and have to hope.
For some reason, I feel like it cannot be any worse than like his normal shit. I feel like it has to be better, even. There's no way it could be worse.
The topic I want to discuss is depression. Depression.
Big ups.
Yikes. And I am controlling all of you. And what I do, I wiggle like this. And what happens is your wallet opens up and all of your money flies out of your wallet through the sky. And then once a day I open my window with a big bag, a big sack like Santa's loot sack. And it just fills with money just flying in there. Yikes. Money kinesis. I have money kinesis. Money kinesis. Hypnosis. Money kinesis. Controlling all of you. Money kinesis.
Yo, this should so be his intro, dude. He should just take this song and play it himself.
Hypnosis. Please drop the
Hello everyone, Phil here, and welcome to the show. The Level 1 Podcast, that is. How is everyone today? Welcome back after a day off yesterday. Today is Thursday, the 20th of April, 2023. Oh my God! Today's date is nothing special. How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing good, because today is a very epic day for many various reasons. I mean, first of all, take a look at the layout of the show. If you can't tell, today I am celebrating the release of the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters for modern consoles. Although these games have actually been out for a little over a year on PC, we've all been fervently awaiting their porting to consoles so that everyone can play them. And now they are.
I'm sorry, dude.
Starting
I can't
up
help
with
it.
one of these games tonight on the late stream per your voting. So obviously that's something to celebrate. Playing classic Final Fantasy, which I love. I grew up playing them, and I cannot wait to actually play one for the very first time with all of you tonight. Although I've played the game before, it's always been before I was a YouTuber. So now finally being able to play this game in a modern setting with an interactive audience should be excellent. That is Final Fantasy V, and that starts later today. But in addition to that, today is a very special day, because not only will we be playing a game on this first stream, okay? However, there is also a special presentation today starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Now, normally my streams run from 10:45 a.m. Pacific time all the way till 4 p.m. And that's pretty much the case for today. However, in light of this epic presentation that is happening regarding Street Fighter 6, here's what we're going to do. I am actually going to shorten the Level 1 Podcast today a little bit. Usually this podcast runs till around 12:30-ish, but in light of the fact that we have this Street Fighter presentation that's going to happen 3 p.m., I would like to try to get at least 2 hours in of Elden Ring. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop this podcast maybe 20-30 minutes early, if I can help it, and then we're going to play 2 hours of Elden Ring. Then we're going to take a short break for me to set up, because I need to swap consoles and swap the setup a bit to prepare for the live react for the presentation of Street Fighter 6 at 3 p.m. And then we will watch it live here together. This stream will not end or anything. It's going to be the same stream. We're going to watch it live together for the hour and live react to it. And I will give you all of my thoughts during and after the presentation. And then I'm going to upload that over on DSP React. So there you go. Now that's very different. Usually this is just a gameplay stream, but being that this is going to likely be a very epic presentation, I'm excited. Shall we just jump right into the discussion about the presentation now and get it out of the way? I think we should. That way we can have it already be discussed. So here's the deal. 3 p.m. Pacific time. It's a 1 hour long presentation, okay? It's digital, and I think it's going to be on Capcom's channel, so we'll probably just jump onto the YouTube app here on my Xbox and try to find the Capcom channel and watch it that way. However, there's a few interesting things about this presentation that make it unique and why I'm really interested in watching it. The first is, it's hosted by Lil Wayne. And we all know that Lil Wayne is such a icon of modern pop culture and music, that the fact that this digital presentation will be hosted by him just means that Street Fighter 6 will sell at least 3 to 4 times more than if they had not gotten Lil Wayne for this. So what a genius move by Capcom to hire someone who has absolutely nothing to do with the game to present it. It's definitely going to put butts in seats and make more people watch and buy the game. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Anyway, the real reason that I'm excited for this presentation is because this presentation is focusing on everything that is not competitive fighting game. I know that sounds a little weird because Street Fighter is a competitive fighting game. So you might say, well, I don't get it. Is it focusing on new characters? No. Gameplay mechanics? No. Online connectivity and online play? No. Well, isn't that the focus of the game? Yes. Or is it? And the reason I say that is today's hour-long presentation is focusing on World Tour Mode and the Battle Hub. And at the end of the presentation, they're supposed to have a special announcement. They've hyped this up, a very special announcement at the very end, so you're going to want to watch it to the end. Okay? So, with these 3 topics, let's discuss each one, because here's, speculation is rampant all over the internet about what these topics will be and how they're going to cover them. First of all, what is World Tour Mode? World Tour Mode is the story mode / single player content of Street Fighter 6. Now, this is a total 180 approach from Capcom. If you remember the launch of Street Fighter V, Street Fighter V had 0 single player content. Like literally 0. None. It launched with just online play. It took them months to launch single player modes that people would play, and even then they never really caught on because they came out so late. Most people who bought Street Fighter V at launch were disappointed because it was a bare bones game approach with only online play and competitive play being the focus. Okay? What they've announced here is that with Street Fighter 6, there will be an interesting and robust, yes, I said the word robust, single player mode. You will be able to create your own fighter. This fighter will travel through the world of Street Fighter 6, which is based in Metro City, the same city where Final Fight takes place. And this fighter will be going around fighting enemies. Maybe it'll be more generic enemies. Maybe it'll be boss fights against the actual fighters of the game. And as you play through, you'll be able to customize your created character. What people are assuming is that depending on what fights you choose and what you do in this open world will determine what abilities your character will have. Imagine you being able to build a fighting game character from the ground up. Maybe like a zoner who throws fireballs and does anti-airs when people try to jump over them. Maybe like a grappler who gets in close, absorbing hits, and then using super armor to grab the opponent and slam them down. Maybe like a fast character that rushes down. Right? All these things are viable if you're creating your own character in the Street Fighter universe. That's kind of neat. And by the way, that has absolutely never been done before in Street Fighter. All right? So, that's supposed to be World Tour Mode. Now, how long will it be? How much content will it have? Will it actually have a concrete story to follow? And will it be meaningful? Or is this going to be a 4-hour-long rush through, beat it in one sitting, not very interesting mode? That's nice to say it's in there, but it's not a big focus. That's honestly what we're going to learn today during this digital presentation, okay? The fact that they're doing an hour-long digital presentation that is not dedicated to the competitive nature of the game makes me feel confident that Capcom has absolutely learned from their mistakes 7 years ago with the release of Street Fighter V, and now they want to make up for them by adding in significant single-player content. One of the major things that was a huge problem between Street Fighter 4 and 5 is that Capcom lost the casual audience. There was a humongous amount of casual fighting game players who bought Street Fighter 4 because of the hype behind it, because of the reinvigoration of the fighting game community with these modernized graphics and dumbed down ease of access controls for the common person. It wasn't a game that had a lot of difficulty to jump in and do special moves and things because they wanted it to appeal to the masses. That's great. But then with Street Fighter V, Capcom literally only focused on the competitive side of it. They released a game with only online play, no other content, and people who were more casual players from Street Fighter 4 were completely turned off and walked away. Now, over the years, they did gather more of a player base, which is great, but it took them 7 years. With Street Fighter 4, they had that hype and player base at launch, and that game broke records and sold crazy, and there was an entire industry that was reinvigorated by the launch of Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 5 had zero impact on the fighting game industry. In fact, some would argue it actually hurt it, while other games tried to survive, like Tekken and stuff, and you know, Smash Brothers. Street Fighter kind of floundered and definitely failed for a couple years until they finally kind of regained their footing after rebalancing the game so many different times. So, if Capcom truly is focusing on an offline single-player mode, this could mean that there will be people who like fighting games but aren't competitive players who would consider buying the game and actually being a part of the community for the first time in many, many years. Instead of it just being, we're a competitive community, now you could just be, we're a community who like fighting games. That's a whole different mentality. And that's something that Capcom has been sorely missing in the last 7 years with Street Fighter V. Maybe they can get it back with Street Fighter 6. Okay? So in addition to the World Tour battle mode that we're supposed to be explained to today, or explained about today, then we've got Battle Hub. For those who don't know what Battle Hub is, Street Fighter 6 has a unique mode where when you're
don't
online
know
and you're
about
looking for
all this.
matches, you're not just sitting in a menu. There's a whole virtual lobby that you go in and you create an avatar for it, and there's things to do while you're waiting for a match.
Okay, this is the part where Phil complains about trolls not being able to turn trolls off.
You could sit down in a cabinet in training mode and practice the game. You could challenge someone who's sitting there to a one-on-one match, just like if you were in a real-life arcade sitting down and challenging someone who's at an arcade machine.
Hey,
Supposedly,
big ups, Master.
there's supposed to be a bunch of content in Battle Hub. Now, it wasn't present in the 2 closed betas that have previously happened. It was just stand around with your avatar and then play a match. That was really it. But apparently, there's even a rumor a game like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo will be in Battle Hub. Now, does that mean that it'll just be there for you to play single player against the computer while you kill time while you wait for a match? Or does that mean you can actually have matches against people online? Nobody knows, all right? I'm surmising it's just offline, which is still nice. If you're killing time, hey, I'm waiting for a Street Fighter 6 match, throw me into Super Turbo, let me pick a character, play for a minute until I find a good match, right? It'll definitely help the time fly by. So I hope this is what it is, but at the same time, wouldn't it be amazing if they actually had online play for it too? I don't think they're going to. But apparently it's not just supposed to be Super Turbo. There's other content too that's going to be in Battle Hub, and that also will be explained today in the hour-long digital presentation. So, do you see the point? The point is, Capcom is saying, we understand you like the competitive online play. We've talked about it, we've had 2 betas of it, and we've shown you characters. But now let's show you the other reasons to buy the game. That's good. That's very good that they're doing that, because they had no reasons to buy Street Fighter V at launch, besides the competitive play. It had no content. This game will actually have full-fledged content, apparently. So, that's what we're going to learn at 3 p.m. today. But in addition to all of that, there is the secret announcement. Ooh, that they're saying is going to be the very exciting announcement at the end of the show. Well, essentially, guys, the beans have already been spilled, because once again, Twitch TV has done it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Twitch TV has completely botched everything. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready, Phil. Tell
You
me.
might be wondering, what will the special announcement be? Well, Twitch, in all of their wisdom, just listen to this,
What did Twitch do this time?
has a special program, a bounty program, for watching and streaming certain content. And if you get a certain amount of viewers while watching or streaming certain content, you get paid money, because it's basically considered paid promotion, okay? Yeah, this bounty program still
Yeah,
exists.
the
even
Bison
though it's been
sucks, dude. That's the worst
It's basically
gun
been around for a
in the
long ass
game.
time.
Hands down.
Anyway, so Twitch botches it. How did they botch it? So they have a bounty for watching the Street Fighter 6 presentation, but apparently the bounty is longer than the presentation, which doesn't make sense. How could you watch it for longer than an hour if it's only an hour? Oh, by the way, there's a download now link attached to the bounty, which makes no sense, because what would you be downloading for the presentation? And now you know. This sounds like they have completely spoiled it. There's going to likely be an open beta for Street Fighter 6 that will launch literally after the end of this digital presentation today. And if that's the case, obviously everyone's going to flood to go get this beta and play it. Now, if it's anything like the previous 2 closed betas, it will likely run throughout the entirety of the weekend, okay? But if this is true, and it is happening this weekend, here's the question. What content will be in the beta? Because there's already been 2 closed betas that I've been a part of, and I enjoyed being a part of, and I actually like the game based off of what I did in those closed betas. But both closed betas were identical, okay? And the closed betas were for 8 different characters. I think it was Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Juri, Jamie, Kimberly, Guile, and Luke. Okay? Those 8 characters were featured in the closed betas that I played. And I played with everyone, but I didn't play with Luke, Ken, or Kimberly. I played with 5 characters during that beta. Okay? Now, if this beta, this open beta, is literally just the same beta a 3rd time, I'm not really interested. I really have no interest in playing the exact same beta 3 times in a row. I've played with 5 out of the 8 characters. I'll be honest, I probably will never play with certain characters like Kimberly. Probably not. Luke, I don't know. Ken, I'll probably give a shot. But I'm much more interested in the characters that I have an affinity for from older Street Fighter games. For example, Blanca, E Honda, Zangief. Those are the characters. Oh, Dalsim. Those are the characters that I probably really enjoy playing. Maybe even someone said Cammy. Probably Cammy. Those characters I'm interested in, for sure. You know who else I want to use? The new characters. Marissa, Manon, or is it Manon? Manon, I don't know how to say her name. Lily. Those characters are intriguing me because they look interesting and they look new and unique. I don't want to play the same characters, the same ones I played 3 times in a row now. That's boring to me, you see? Even though the last beta was in December, I have no desire to go back and play with them again. I want to play with a variety of characters. And so, if this beta does launch today, and they announce it's just the same beta for a 3rd time, I'm not going to play it. And instead, we're just going to go with my regular schedule like we had already talked about for this weekend, okay? However, if they announce, oh, open beta, oh, and by the way, we've added in all these new characters to try out, then I'm probably going to be playing the beta this weekend, okay? Now, how much, to what extent, you know, and all of that we can hash out together, because I already had a schedule for the weekend, and I'm going to have to mix it up now in order to play Street Fighter 6. Essentially, what I might do is juggle around some of my streams where basically the daytime streams will be moved around. Like, for example, let's say the Street Fighter 6 beta launches and there's all new characters. Then probably tomorrow's main stream, I'll play Street Fighter 6 and try out the new characters, okay? Just makes sense. And then what we'll do is we'll delay the finale of Silent Hill 3 until later in the week. Until we, you know, I have a whole stream where I want to play it and finish it. But I'm probably going to end up playing Street Fighter 6 likely like Friday and Sunday is what I'm thinking. I'll probably do like 2 big streams. And maybe I'll even do it as the night stream on Saturday. So that way I get 3 streams of it. It's a good variety of content. And maybe I can mess around with all different characters during this time frame. Okay? So that's the deal. All right? And I hope the rumors are true. And I hope that they actually do this the right way and add new characters. Because, again, if it just ends up being the same thing, that is boring to me, and I'm just going to go with my normal schedule. All right? So, we're looking for 3 important things during this digital presentation later today. Information on the World Tour mode, information on what's in Battle Hub, and what is the super secret, special announcement at the end of the event, which likely is going to be the announcement of this beta. Okay? And based on that, we can make determinations about what I'll be doing for the rest of this weekend. If the beta is an exciting one, I'll probably do it mainstream on Friday, late night stream Saturday, mainstream on Sunday. And then everything else will be balanced in along with that during the course of the week. If not, then we'll just go along with the normal schedule, which we're about to talk about, by the way. So, okay. Now, you may have noticed in what I'm talking about, I'm not really mentioning Dead Island 2. If you want an explanation about Dead Island 2, what it is and why I'm not playing it, check out the podcast from Tuesday where I talk about it for a good chunk, and I talk to you about how it's just a boring-ass game, repetitive gameplay, nothing original, kind of just a grind, and not something that's going to make any sense for my streams, nor any sense to spend money on. It'll be another game I'd play 1 or 2 streams if we're bored and we move on. The problem with modern gaming is that most of these games coming out in the last few months have been not very interesting. The best games this year have been remakes. Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4 remake. And then there was Hogwarts Legacy, which was great in the beginning, and then the second half fizzles out. There really haven't been any great high-profile games yet this year. We're hoping to change that next week with Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and hopefully every week moving forward there'll be a new game that's a high-profile, interesting game. But right now, things have been kind of, a dead time. And I'm not going to spend money on a game like that we know is not going to be good. Doesn't matter how many people sit here in the chat and scream about it, saying, oh, you're not a variety streamer anymore. Well, guess what? I'm a variety streamer who plays games that are fucking good. I'm not going to waste time on a game that everyone has been saying is not good. Oh, but it's for variety. Well, fuck that. I have limited time on this planet. I have limited time to stream. I'd be pulled in a million directions. You want me to do React content. You want me to do gameplay. You want me to do this and that. I'm not going to be wasting time on a game I absolutely know is not that good. And I'm not going to enjoy it. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time.
Come on, Phil is stretched to the max here. He's got no time for anything, dude.
Okay.
Come on.
So, that being said, let's now head into the schedule. All right? So now you guys know what's coming up. Then we can talk about my day off. Then we got a few game stories to cover. We'll do some shout-outs. And like I said, I'm looking to end the podcast early today so we can at least get 2 hours of Elden Ring in before we swap over to the Street Fighter 6 presentation at 3 p.m. Okay? So, schedule-wise, what's going on? Today, it's the Level 1 podcast, which will end early 2 hours of Elden Ring. What are we doing in Elden Ring? We're finishing up Caria Manor, which is the Magic Manor side dungeon. We have the boss fight, and then we have a little bit of optional exploration. Once you beat Caria Manor, now you can go to the towers behind it. This opens up NPC quest lines. Also, there's a dragon boss fight back there that we could do. I don't know how hard it'll be, because I think it's a magic dragon, which is going to be a pain for me. Everything I'm fighting is magic, but my magic build, they're all resistant to it. So all that's going on. That'll be fun. 2 hours of that. And then the Street Fighter presentation at 3 p.m. We're going to watch it here live together, and then I'm going to upload it to DSP Reacts after the fact. Later tonight, on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time, it is the premiere of the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection and the premiere of my Final Fantasy V playthrough per your votes. You guys have been voting on what you wanted to see me play in this collection, and Final Fantasy V won. So I'm excited to start up this tonight on the late stream. It's my first ever playthrough for the internet of it. I've played this game a few times before offline, and I absolutely love it, by the way. It's a game where if you really master the system, the combat system, you can make characters whatever you want. They could be any class, which is unique. Most Final Fantasy games, your characters are kind of archetypes into a certain class. But in this game, any character could be anything after you play a certain amount. And I'm absolutely excited to experience this game with you. It's got great music. It's got great, in my opinion, graphics for the time, and great gameplay. I'll be honest, the story isn't as good as Final Fantasy IV or VI. Still good, but not as good. It's a little more cliche, as you will see as we play the game together, okay? So I hope you guys will join me for the fun tonight. It's a special playthrough near and dear to my heart. I grew up playing the classic Final Fantasies. This is one that I really like, and I hope that you guys will join me tonight for that, okay? Tomorrow is up in the air. If the Street Fighter 6 beta actually is in effect and it's new characters, then I will do that tomorrow. If not, then tomorrow will be the conclusion of Silent Hill 3. Then on the late stream tomorrow night, it is more late night Oblivion action, where for 2 hours we were going to continue on and finish the Mages Guild, and then it looks like we're going to head back into the main story for a while. We're on the fence about getting the Shivering Isles DLC. A lot of people tell me it's super good, but I'll be honest, I've noticed that with these Oblivion streams, attendance and engagement has dwindled. It's probably because I've been playing the game for 4 freaking months. So should we continue it or not? I don't know. We're going to think about it, but we'll have more of that tomorrow night. Then Saturday's main stream is DSP versus the Internet. This is my weekly React show over on DSP Reacts, where I react to clips from you, the members. People who are channel members nominate clips, and we watch them together. It should be a great show, as usual. And then Saturday night, again, if there's no Street Fighter 6, will be Final Fantasy V. If there is Street Fighter 6, it'll be the Street Fighter 6 beta. Same thing on Sunday. If there's a Street Fighter 6 beta, it'll be the mainstream on Sunday. If not, then we're going to do Elden Ring on Sunday. Okay? And then Sunday night, again, up in the air, it could be Oblivion or whatever. We'll see. Okay? And then we still have Monday and Tuesday. And again, Monday and Tuesday are going to be dependent on what's going on. If the Street Fighter 6 beta had been over the weekend, then likely we're going to play Elden Ring both Monday and Tuesday and balance the late streams with Final Fantasy and Oblivion. But let's play it by ear and let's see what happens. Okay? I'm excited. I honestly hope there is an open Street Fighter 6 beta with new characters. That would be very pleasing to me. It would mean that we have a really big week of variety here, very different from what people would normally expect. I'd be absolutely stoked. Okay?
He's
cool.
got the magic stick.
There you go. So, that's the schedule for the week. Now, I have a special announcement.
He's got the magic
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been gifted a new hat for the rotation.
Fucking disgusting, dude.
A brand new hat. I don't want to spoil what the hat is. I'm looking at it right now. I don't want to spoil what the hat is. What I will tell you is this. This new hat is classy. That's all I'm going to say. It's a classy new hat.
Fedora?
It was gifted by a viewer. Okay? And there's a story behind it.
It's a fedora.
But I'm not going to tell you the story until we actually have the hat. So today, if we reach the hat goal of $100 on this stream, I will put on the brand new hat for you. And I will tell you the story of the hat. Okay? So let's see. If we hit $100, great. If not, it's fine. It's not the end of the world if we don't hit it. And I'm not demanding anything. I'm just saying it would be nice. We have a new hat. You want to see it? Let's hit a hat goal. In fact, I would say the first time that we hit a hat goal of $100 raised on any stream moving forward, I will put on the brand new hat.
Hey, it's the new hat scam, man.
Okay? So if you want to see me in the astronaut helmet, you got to tip. Wait. Oh, I spoiled it. No, I'm just kidding. It's not an astronaut helmet. I told you it's something
You got to
classic.
tip me.
Okay.
You got to tip me. You heard him. You just said it. You got to tip me if you want to see that new hat, buddy.
So there you go.
God, Phil. You're so egregious.
Battleduck says it would be an interesting change if the hat told its own story. That would also be incredibly disturbing, I think.
Yeah, he probably bought it himself, dude.
But okay.
From the dollar store.
Very
like
nice.
a dollar store
All right,
fedora
so,
or something.
Let's see what happens. Let's see if and when we hit a $100 tips goal. I'll put on a brand new hat for you. I'll remind you guys, because there may not be people who are watching this very moment, but maybe they'll be watching later on the stream, and I'll remind them when people are here. Hey, tip today if you want to see the brand new hat. Okay? Okay. I think I've almost covered everything. I covered the schedule. I covered the Street Fighter 6 event. I covered the hat. I just want to direct your attention. Our members goal for today is 565 members, and that's the entirety of today. That's including both this stream, plus Elden Ring, plus Street Fighter 6 event, and even the Final Fantasy premiere stream tonight. So please consider becoming a member. Supporting this channel by a membership is a great way to support it because it's ongoing support. It not only helps this channel, but obviously you get cool perks from it, or maybe you just want to help out the community. Maybe what you'd like to do is gift some memberships to the channel, and then people in the community can get them and enjoy them, right? So thank you in advance to anyone who either becomes a member, gives a membership, or renews a membership that perhaps you had in the past and it's lapsed. Now would be a great time. Just think about this, okay? Elden Ring, the premiere of the Final Fantasy game this tonight, right? Possibly the Street Fighter 6 beta. Next week, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. The week after that, I think, is Redfall. And every week we have
He is
something major
rocking
going
hard
on.
today,
In fact,
yeah.
I think this month also is Zelda. There's a lot going on in the next 30 days, so you get a lot of use out of that membership, I feel. If you became a member or gifted a membership today, someone would really benefit from it, okay? All right.
Phil, it's messed up.
News stories, because we
messed
got to
up.
move. We basically have less than a half an hour left on this podcast because I have to end it early, so we have enough time to get gameplay in of Elden Ring, okay? So, news stories for today. First of all, I'm just going to say this, because I said this during my day off on Twitter, all right? Oh, you know what? I got to tell the Phil's day off. I'll tell the Phil's day off segment in a second. It's not a big one. Twitter's falling apart.
I'm sure you
Elon
did,
Musk
I'm sure you
has no
did
idea what he's
nothing.
doing.
Like,
And now he's finally starting to institute the big changes. So now everyone's losing their legacy check marks. Anyone who was verified previously has lost their check mark or is losing them. I lost mine already, and others are losing them as well. The site is essentially becoming a cesspool of shit. And what I mean by that is I can't barely find anything of use on the site anymore. Like, it used to be Twitter used to be my major source of news and information. Now, my feed is junk.
bro.
Like, I go to my feed where it used to be all pertinent things to my interests and things that I was following. And now I get shit post. I'm not even kidding. Accounts that are called shit post. I'm like, why is this here? I never follow this. I never watch one of these. I don't want this. I keep blocking.
Who gets
and
their
more of
news
them
from
get
Twitter,
added.
dude?
Now I've got sports.
God
I've never
damn.
fucking watched anything of sports ever on Twitter, and I keep getting sports in my feed. So what's happened is he changed the algorithm, or told his employees to change the algorithm to shove things down your throat that you don't want, and it just becomes a chore now to use the site. I'm just trying to look for fucking game news today to report on the podcast, and I gotta sift through 40 posts of fucking feces. And the funny part is, he thinks he's doing good. If you actually look at the shit he's saying, he's like, oh, we're monetizing.
Actual feces? Or like, does he be like, what does he mean? What did he mean by that?
Now, would you pay to subscribe to someone on Twitter? I want you to think about this for a second. Would you pay money to subscribe to someone on Twitter?
No. Probably not.
What meaningful content is shared on Twitter that you would need to pay for? Right? Nothing. But he's monetized Twitter in this case. So you can follow people. What premium content of any value would be put onto Twitter? Nothing. It's bullshit. It's fluff. Only if you're like a super fan, a ball sucker of someone, would you pay for a subscription. Well, he wants people to be super fan ball suckers because he's instituted this. He's telling all these celebrities, everyone, do paid subscriptions, make money on Twitter. For what? To show me picking my nose? The fuck do you want to see on my Twitter feed that's worth paying for? Like, what are you talking about? It's not like I can give, like, for example, if you were to subscribe to me on Twitter, what could I realistically give you? I can't give you premium emotes. I can't give you perks. I can't do any of that on Twitter. None of that exists. But he just wants people to pay for his service for no reason. So now I want you to pay for a blue check mark. He wants you to pay to subscribe to someone. For what? There's no fucking content. All the content on Twitter.
Then why not just, like, not fucking do it and just shut up? Just stop complaining. Stop being annoying. You know?
Is redirected to a third-party site where the content is found. No, none of it is housed on Twitter. But he thinks his site has value. There's no value. It's the stupidest thing. He spent so much money on this website. Billions of dollars. He overvalued it so he could buy it. And now he's pissing money away and he can't find a way to basically make it viable. So he's just saying, charge for this, charge for this, charge for this. And no one's doing it, by the way. Very few people are jumping on this bandwagon of spend money on something that's been free forever. That's the problem with the premise of Twitter right now. Twitter started as a free site that was social media and considered almost an internet commodity. Something free that is purposeful. You can have discussion, it's dissemination of news, but now he's trying to monetize it and make it a paid-for service. You can't give someone something for free and then change your mind and try to make
What's
it
that called,
later.
Phil?
That doesn't work.
What's it called, Phil? Tell me
You
what
have
it's
to
called.
make it paid for from the get-go. Then you will have that base that have that mindset. It's a paid-for service, and people will judge value based off of that. You cannot say this was free and now charge for it and think there will be perceived value. There is no perceived value of Twitter. None. And he doesn't understand that. He's one of the richest people in the world, and he's too stupid to understand that. He's essentially a dumb businessman. I don't know where the money comes from. I really don't at this point. He's blowing up rockets and shit. He's launching rockets that explode, and people are applauding. Yes. Amazing. Good for you. Piss your money away. Anyway, Twitter is falling apart. It's getting harder for me to use it. So I'm going to do my best to try to find you guys news stories, but the problem is outside of Twitter, which used to be a neutral hub that would kind of filter stories and find the best ones, you'd have to rely on third-party sites to find news. It's like, do I want to go to IGN? Do I want to go to fucking Kotaku? No, I don't want to go to these sites because they all have a spin or they all only focus on things that they're interested in for their own personal benefit. So it's kind of hard to find a neutral place to find game news. It's going to be harder. If Twitter continues down this shitty slope that is going down and it becomes less and less useful and more just bloated with garbage, paid for garbage, the site essentially is not going to be a good news site anymore. That's unfortunate. I'm going to do my best to keep giving you guys news stories, but it's going to get harder when the one place...
Bro, oh my god. This is why he's always wrong, dude. This is why everything he reports on for his news stories is always wrong, and he has to redact everything and go back and be like... Remember when that girl lied about, like, not getting paid a certain amount, and then Phil reported early on it, and then, like, a day or two later, he had to come back and say, oh, sorry, I got it wrong. Because he gets it all from Twitter. It's all bullshit.
That used to be neutral is no longer going to be neutral. It's just going to be a bunch of shit now. Okay? Anyway, I said my little blurb there about it. Now let's move on. Okay? So, get this. Nintendo is adding 4 new Sega Genesis games to its paid premium service. If you have the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion, which is the one that has the N64 games, well, it's also going to include the following 4 games, okay? Pulseman, Street Fighter II Special Champion Edition, Kid Chameleon, and Flicky. Now, the thing that gets me about this, which makes me scratch my head, is that the 16-bit games used to be included for free in the standard Nintendo Online subscription. But now Nintendo seems to be sneaking in, oh, you can get more games if you pay for the higher level subscription. Wait a minute, what? No, that wasn't the arrangement. The arrangement was, if you want N64 games, you would pay for the higher level subscription. At some point, Nintendo switched it but no one's really been paying attention apparently, because that was what it originally was a year or two ago, was pay more for N64, pay for the standard if you want 16 and 8-bit. But now they changed it. Because here's the thing. I would be very interested, all right, in playing Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition. Do you want to know why? Because Special Champion Edition is arguably a horrendous joke of an edition of a Street Fighter game. It's funny that it's so bad, but a lot of people played this as their version of Street Fighter 2 in the 90s because they only had a Genesis, they didn't have a Super Nintendo, okay? I rented it and played it, and yikes. Let's just put it that way. Yikes. All right? So I would love to play that game for you guys as a one-off stream and make fun of it, because it really is. Wait till you hear the sound effects of that game are so bad. The freaking music is atrociously bad. Okay? So basically, it sucks because, like, I saw this announcement. I'm like, oh, Nintendo Online, maybe we could do this during the weekend or this coming week or two. We could do a one-off stream of Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition. That'd be fun. Oh, no, it's only for the premium online service. And I'm like, but I don't get it. I really don't understand. It was supposed to be only N64 games were that, and now they're adding 16-bit games in there instead. People are getting fooled and not saying anything. Why? Because it's Nintendo, and Nintendo can do nothing wrong, right? So there you have it. An interesting story came out, okay? Michael Barclay, who used to work for EA and used to be in charge of Star Wars Battlefront. Now you might say, wait a minute, Star Wars Battlefront? Do you mean that series that came out and it was two of them and they tried to sell microtransactions and things in them? They had to change the whole system and they failed. No, I mean the original Star Wars Battlefront. The ones that came out in the 2000s, the ones that were widely praised, the ones that were incredibly fun to play, and were very popular both on PC and home consoles. The original Star Wars Battlefront games, 1 and 2, Part 3 was already done. According to this guy who was the lead of the project, he was basically saying that this game was 2 yards from the finish line. And it was a great game, and it was ready to be played, and for some unknown reason, it was axed. And he's very upset about that, because he's like, I guess you look at the modern Battlefronts and what happened to the franchise, and now essentially the franchise is dead, right? No one's talking about reviving Battlefront or anything like that, because a whole new dev team took up the reins and kind of ran it into the ground and didn't do a good job with it. Well, the original Battlefront trilogy had a third game that's basically unreleased. And I guess what's happened is there's been this lore over the years about why it happened and things like that, and no one could seem to really agree. But that's kind of sad to think that there would have been a Battlefield 3. Maybe Battlefield could have continued on, Battlefront, my bad. Battlefront could have continued on as its original series that it was, and maybe it could have continued to be a great franchise and everything. But what ended up happening was, during this time frame, Disney bought Star Wars. And when Disney bought Star Wars, Disney was currently at that time judging what they wanted to do with the franchise, and they had plans for reboots and everything. And they decided they really didn't want this game. And even though it was freaking done, they canceled it. That's sad. I would really like to see it come back.
Dude?
Like, maybe be revived in a modern way. That would be pretty neat. Because I'll be honest, Battlefront 1 and 2, which they really aren't, that came out in the last decade, weren't very good. They were very repetitive, very boring games that didn't really capture the spirit of the originals. They just didn't. The originals were much more addictive and fun to play. And I don't know how they lost that in the new ones. So, that being said, sad that this happened, but maybe we will see Battlefront come back. I don't know. Last story. This is an interesting one. Atari. Yes, Atari, who honestly, if you think about Atari in the last few years, well, they've released a couple collections of their classic games that have been pretty popular, but they also tried to release a whole retro console that failed miserably. It was overpriced, no one really bought it, and it didn't do too well. Atari, get this, is buying up old PC and console titles from the 80s and 90s. Listen to this. Okay? Hold on a second. Bubsy. Yes, the Bubsy franchise. Hardball, Demolition Racer, 1942 Pacific Air War, and a bunch of other air combat series. Okay? They're buying up all the rights to these games. Why? Right? It's kind of weird. And it kind of makes you scratch your head. Like, what exactly are they doing with these? Right? Will they revive the franchises? Are they looking to just make collections and release them like they've similarly done with their previous Atari Classics collections? It's kind of confusing. So, it's a weird move on Atari's part to just start buying up old franchises that have been long dead like this. So, there's a lot of speculation. Personally, I don't think they're going to be reviving them. I don't think Atari is really interested in taking an old series and making a new game out of it. But perhaps what they're trying to do is buy up a library of games that maybe in the future they could sell, you know, like for classics retention or something. I don't know. I mean, like I said, some of their more successful titles in the last few years have been classics collections of their own games. So maybe they're just looking to do the same with other games as well. Maybe because they've seen success of their own. I don't know. It's interesting to see, but not sure yet. You know, it's kind of a little too early, I guess, to make a judgment. So, all right, guys. That is it for game news. We kind of turboed through it, I know. So let's see. Phil's Day Off. Are you ready for this? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Phil's Day Off segment. Stupid thing. Yesterday was my day off from streaming. My one day off a week. And I had a ton planned. My wife and I had all these things to do because we hadn't been out in a few weeks. And we had all these things lined up that were kind of important but also fun things to do. And we're absolutely, you know, ready to go. And guess what happens? Last night, well, 2 nights ago, excuse me, my wife starts to feel a little under the weather. And I'm like, oh no.
Uh-oh.
Well, here's the problem. She's been working. And when she works a string of days, okay, she gets worn out or beaten sometimes. You know, she's working with people all day. Sometimes you get the sniffles or whatever, right? And it's kind of what happened is she worked a string of days this weekend into Tuesday, all the way through Tuesday. And we knew our day off was Wednesday. But this is the problem is, if you haven't noticed, our schedule has been changing a lot this year. First we had Thursdays off. Then we had Wednesdays off. Then for a while we had Thursdays off. And now we have Wednesdays off again. Okay? And because of that, all right, it's changing. It's fluctuating like this. It's screwing everything up. All right, it is. It's screwing everything up. And we can't have consistency. And when there's no consistency, that's when this kind of stuff happens. So she's been working nights, then she's working days, then she's working nights, then she's working days again. And this week was supposed to be like the first week where we're going to have consistency. But we changed our day off to be Wednesday, but now it looks like she's going to be working Mondays and Tuesdays every week, and then maybe other days fluctuating. So because of that, you know, she worked 3 days this last week straight, and then she's tired as shit and didn't feel good. So I told her, I was like, listen, if you don't feel good, why are we going to pressure ourselves on our day off to go out and do a million things? That doesn't make sense. If you don't feel good, then let's just have a more relaxing day at home.
That's nice.
Luckily
That's nice,
for us,
Phil.
the things that we had,
Have a nice day at home.
We're not like, it wasn't like a doctor's appointment or something like that. For once,
Right.
for a change, it
Just
wasn't
grocery
like an appointment
shopping,
we had to be at. It was more, you know, things we could do kind of at any time. So because of that, we're like, all right,
Like what?
Instead of having our
Like nothing. You had nothing to do.
day out, we'll just have a day at home. And that's what we did. So essentially yesterday, I went out and did my usual errands, which is like grocery shopping, and I got some stuff for Jasper Kitty.
It's the
and
same
things like
thing
that.
every
And then I
fucking
picked up-
week,
Yeah, I
dude.
picked up one of the things that we had ordered. I had to get it at a store and stuff like that. And then I came home, and after we unpacked and relaxed, we just ordered some food. We ordered some Hawaiian food, which was good. We love the Hawaiian
Hawaiian
barbecue stuff. I had
food?
chicken. She had chicken too. Yeah, we both had chicken, and we
You lo-
relaxed and we watched the entirety of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. We are almost through all the Harry Potter movies. We now watched 6 of them. Okay, in the last couple of weeks, we've been kind of slow burning through them.
What?
So we've watched 6 of them now. And
Harry
we're moving
Potter?
on to the Deathly Hallows 1 and 2 now. And once I watch all of those, I'm going to do a special Harry Potter retrospective video for DSP Reacts, where I'm going to tell you my overall thoughts on the Potter series, and also kind of talk about, now having played Hogwarts Legacy, how those games tie into that. And
Oh,
how
great,
fun it was
dude.
to see those
Fucking
references
great.
in the movie and things like that. it's going to be neat, a neat video for sure. So that's coming up, okay? Yeah, so we did that. We've also been watching someone play The Last of Us Part 1 on PC.
Comes home to order DoorDash,
There's
yeah.
a lot of issues.
That's Phil in a
So we're
nutshell,
watching
dude.
that. So we're doing some different things. We had a more relaxing day at home. We didn't really do anything out special, which kind of sucks because originally the plan was we were going to have a day out and do a bunch of special stuff, and now it's all been postponed because...
A bunch of special stuff? Like what?
She was tired and worn out. Luckily, she's not sick, and that's the good thing. She didn't get sick. She was feeling under the weather, but because we actually slept in on our day off and then relaxed at home for most of the day, it ended up being a more rejuvenating day for us. And overall, I think it worked out because now she seems to be back to herself. It's not like she's all worn out.
Oh, she just didn't want to go out with you, dude. It's probably
But
really
it sucks having a schedule
tiring
all over the place. Now
having to go out with
it
you.
looks like, like I said, at the least for the foreseeable future, she'll be working like every Monday, Tuesday.
If it's
but we're not
tiring
sure
to
about
listen
other
to you,
days
it's
of the
got to
week.
be
They may
tiring
change.
to like be with
And
you.
because of that, it's like, well, should we have
physically.
Wednesday or Thursday off as our day off every week? We don't know because it could still fluctuate. And now we're debating, should we have it be Wednesday or Thursday? Maybe we should have it be Thursday. Because then if she's absolutely going to work every week, Monday, Tuesday, there are going to be some days she's going to feel like crap the next day. Maybe that could be a recuperation day for her. And then we have a whole day out together on Thursday. So we're debating all of this, okay? And it just sucks. It would have been great to have great stories to tell you today. I don't have anything to really tell you because we didn't really do much. But it was fun, relaxing, and we watched Harry Potter, which was good. It's not like we had a bad day. That was the opposite. It was a good day home. It's just not what we were planning originally, okay? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to shout-outs. Like I said, this is an abridged podcast, so I'm trying to keep it moving. We start off today. There's absolutely no contributions on the YouTube side. We got no super chats, no super stickers, no memberships, no gifted memberships. So I have nothing to shout out on the YouTube side at all. However, there's a couple tips that have come in, so let's give them a look. Anso Kamaru has tipped me $2. Says, well, I 100% agree. Dead Island 2 looks generic and open world with like drivel. It seems like you're contradictory on your use of public perception. If you like a game that's considered bad by public perception, like Callisto Protocol, you call everyone wrong and insult others. If a game has bad reviews that you're not interested in, you say reviewers are right and the game is bad. If a game gets raving reviews and a high public perception but you're not interested in it, you'll say reviewers and everyone are wrong. I think you should stop going on very condescending rants about games that you haven't played that end up hurting your brand perception.
Damn.
It's called having an opinion. Are you aware that in life you can have an opinion on something? So let me put this into perspective. some specific
Break it down for us, Phil.
some specifics, okay? First of all, you guys know I really like survival horror games, correct? You guys know that. You guys also know I'm a huge fan of Dead Space, correct? And you know that Callisto Protocol, which was the game made by the previous makers of Dead Space, was hyped and was covered and was coming out in January, right? Now, I was very hyped for this game because it's for the makers of original Dead Space, but it's a new outing. I'm excited for this. So what ends up happening is reviewers start coming out and reviewing the game. I take a look at their reviews, and, you know, based on what they're saying, I deem that basically what they're saying is kind of unfair, all right? They're criticizing the game for things that Dead Space itself is known for and saying they're bad things. And I said, how much do you want to bet? There's some kind of an agenda here. That these people, number one, either aren't good enough to play this game and enjoy it because the game is tougher than most survival horror games and they suck at it, so they're pissy about it. Or number two, there's something going on where EA is coming out with Dead Space Remake in January while Callisto Protocol came out in December, and they want to hype up the one that's going to be beneficial for them to hype. So, of course, they're going to say the competitor isn't as good, so they can hype up the other one and say it's better, and that way they profit from it. So I called this out. I played Callisto Protocol. I do feel the reviewers were absolutely unfair to it. Now, there were some criticisms that I feel were valid. The game was not perfect. It had flaws. But it was not an awful game or a horribly inferior game like they were saying in their reviews. Exactly what I said was correct. These reviewers were not good enough to learn the new mechanics of the game and enjoy it because they just wanted to run and gun through it like Dead Space. And it wasn't just them. Okay? It was other content creators as well. There were several high-profile content creators that turboed through this game, rushed through it, or quit it because they didn't want to play it and learn it. They wanted it to be just like all their other survival horror games. Sorry, it's not like Resident Evil 4. Sorry, it's not Dead Space. It's a different entity. And they didn't want to bother with that. To them, they didn't see enough positive benefit from it to learn it. Instead, they just wanted to say, fuck this, and create shock headlines. So-and-so rage quits game because they say it sucks. Oh, you see? So they feel like they benefited more from that than actually playing through the game. Okay? So I called it out for what it was.
just wanted to hit
I
my
played the
bowl.
game, and I enjoyed it very much. Did I love it? Well, it was good, but it definitely had some flaws and shortcomings, but it was still a great game and way better than the reviewers gave it credit for. Okay? Then I played the Dead Space remake the month later, and what happens? It's literally Dead Space 1 with better graphics and a few tweaks. Still a great game, but it's Dead Space 1. All the reviewers, 10 out of 10, perfect experience. I said, this is exactly what I said was going to happen. Literally. Exactly what was going to happen. They were going to kiss this game's ass because it's what they're used to and probably what they benefit from kissing their butt up. Kissing Callisto Protocol's butt didn't help them. Kissing Dead Space's butt with EA behind it, oh, that helps these media outlets hugely. You see? So, sorry, that's being honest. Now, I understand what Anso Kamara was saying, all right? But at the same time, all right, I am someone who is pulled in a million directions, all right? I am. Even though I don't even have a giant viewer base. I mean, arguably, how many people do I get on a stream? A few hundred? How many people watch my videos? A few hundred to maybe 1,000?
Yeah, you kind of
right?
run through it.
Only for bigger playthroughs do I get thousands of people watching. All right? Let's be honest. I'm definitely not a popular guy anymore. I know that. But I also know that my viewer base that is dedicated to watching me appreciates my honesty and appreciates that I try to put my efforts towards projects and things that I know are going to be worth everyone's time. All right? People are still in this mindset that I am 2012 DSP, that I'm the guy who doesn't stream, who doesn't have a schedule that's busy, that instead I just sit around playing games offline all day. And I have time to play every new release coming out every week, and I can even play the shitty ones. And that way I can give you my honest opinion on all of them. That was the old formula of old school DSP. But old school DSP didn't interact with an audience, okay? Didn't get pulled in a million directions by said audience because I didn't listen to the audience. I just played whatever I wanted. And because of that, I skipped a ton of games that you guys were
happy
interested
holidays,
in. I very rarely went back and played retro games. I very rarely played anything but a main AAA release. And by the way, my playthroughs back then were very different than today. They were rushed. I skipped most side content. I was just going turbo through the story, finish the game within a few days, trade it in, get to the next game. And a lot of people very strongly criticized my gameplay back then, saying it was shitty. Okay? So today, being an interactive streamer and putting out more meaningful content where I take my time with the games, I can't just do what I used to do anymore. You understand that? All right? You're right. In the old days, I likely would have said, hey, all these reviewers are saying Dead Island 2 isn't very good. Let's play it together and judge for ourselves. And I would buy the game and I would play it. And I would say, wow, we played it 2 streams. That game's a piece of dog shit. It sucks ass. Let's slam it together publicly. And we would. And we'd laugh at how bad the game was, and it would make my worst games of the year countdown, right? Or, excuse me, most disappointing games of the year countdown, right? That was the old Phil. But that was many, many, many years ago. You understand? You know, because
Many moons ago.
I've changed. I'm not that same guy. I don't know how people don't understand that I've changed. The moment that I became a full-time streamer that started making more meaningful content, interactive content for an audience that I care about, and I want to make sure that when you're watching my content, you're getting something good out of it. It's not just me ranting at a bad game and acting like an asshole. I changed from being that guy. You understand? So I can't play every shitty game. In fact, I would skip most shitty games or games that are commonly known to be shitty because I'd rather put out meaningfully good content for you. I'm not the angry game reviewer who screams at every bad game and puts that content out anymore. I changed for the better. And most people agree. But I understand that there's some people out there that are upset because they want to see me play all these new games and I'm not playing them, right? But we already had this discussion earlier in the week. Game developers need to start actually putting effort in and making more meaningful, better games now. It's not enough to just pump out a functional game. Now you have to pump out a meaningful game. And that's really the problem. Functional versus meaningful. Just because you made a functional game doesn't even need to mean to exist. Dead Island 2. Tell me what space in gaming that's filling. How many of us have been screaming, we need an open world zombie killing game? This is a game that's 10 years outdated. 10 years outdated. This was supposed to be a game that would have been popular during the zombie craze of The Walking Dead.
I mean, you might
Who
as
the
well
fuck
play...
even talks about The Walking Dead in 2023?
You might as well play DayZ at that
It's
point.
a bygone era of gaming. There's no reason even. It's like it's a fart in the wind. It's like, why are we talking about it? And then on top of that, it's apparently not very good. On top of all of that, you see. So I understand what you're saying, but again, when I'm being pulled in so many directions,
Yeah,
when
he's so dramatic,
I'm a
dude. Like,
creator now, I have to pick and choose the best projects for my audience. I know that I'm going to get meaningful content out of a game like Oblivion. This is a
you know, when
where
he's
I
when he's
learned the
acting
game
like
on the
this,
fly
it's
from the
always
live
like to
audience.
cover
People
up the
tell me
fact that
every
like
step
he
of the way
wants,
we have fun
you
interactions,
know,
and people who've been there
he's
for those
being
streams love
disingenuous
it. Absolutely love
somehow.
it. Right? Final Fantasy is a game near and dear to my heart. I grew up playing the classic Final Fantasies. This will be a series that will mean something to an audience, as opposed to, oh, Phil played Dead Island and mashed buttons and killed a bunch of zombies for 2 streams and swore at the game because it sucks. Ha ha ha. That's brainless, you know, brain melting drivel content. I'd much rather put out more meaningful shit. Seriously. So, sorry you don't understand that, but things change over time. All right? And you might, oh, it's hypocritical. Well, there's some cases where I have to listen to public opinion because I can't clone myself. I don't have money and time to play every game. Sorry. I wish I did. I wish that I could have more time and means. But no, the day that I became a full-time streamer, things changed. For the better, in my opinion. I think most people would agree. Look at my content since 2017 to now. Compare that with the old style content I used to put out, where I used to be the guy who played every shit game and ranted and raved about them all. Right? So, that's my take. If you disagree, you have your right to disagree, and that's fine. But you're not going to change my mind on a game that I have no interest in. I was half interested until people told us what it was. I said, that's exactly what I thought it was going to be. And that's nothing I'm interested in playing. I'm not wasting my time, your time, money, or anything like that when we could do anything else that's going to be more meaningful. Sorry.
Just say you don't want to play it, dude. You don't have to freak out.
I received a $1.50 tip. What is your obsession with Elon? I have no obsession with Elon. I like everyone else, have objective observations of this man as an outsider, and it's hilarious that so many people kiss his butt when he regularly does horrible, stupid things, horrible, bad decisions, business decisions, personal decisions. This is a guy who is one of the most powerful people in the world who decided to make tweets about 420. And when he made them, he got in legal trouble.
So?
Because people went and bought stock and shit based off of what he tweeted, but he's so irresponsible, he thought it was funny. And he didn't care because he had no consequences for what he did. Yeah, he was penalized. It cost him money. He got kicked off the board of a company. And then he continued to go on in life and succeed anyway because people just keep praising the guy. I'm not going to sit here and kiss the guy's butt because other people do. The things he does are stupid. Really stupid. It's not just like, oh, kind of dumb. It's just kind of like really dumb. Yet, it's like, it's a comedy of errors where it's like, he keep making these errors.
I love it. I love it so much. You know, Phil calling a multi, well, he's a billionaire, right? Calling him stupid and talking about all the failures he's had. Phil, you declared bankruptcy, dude. Like this man's just, I mean, you know, have your opinions about Elon Musk, but like this man's just sent like the biggest rocket that ever existed, you know, into orbit. So I don't know, Phil. I don't know if you're the one to be able to criticize like this anyway.
Errors, it's hilarious to watch his antics, but because he's super rich, he's insulated from any consequences in his life. Buy Twitter, change it all for the worse. That's fine though, because what consequence will he have for it? How many laws did he break doing this? Who cares? He's super rich. He'll get away with it, right? So, to me, I'm just like, I'll be honest. Sorry, I don't have an obsession with the guy. Every once in a while, Twitter sucks. I'll bring it up. If you don't like that, well, try separating your lips from his ass for a second, and maybe you'll see things for what they are. Okay, a couple shout-outs here. Death Talica 666 did a super chat. and says, hey, man, please tell me Kat is going to be okay. She's going to be okay. She, like I said, after having a more relaxing day at home yesterday, she feels better. And then Evil Gandhi did a super chat. Says, here's for changing for the better. Thank you, Evil Gandhi. What a name, though. Evil Gandhi. Alrighty, then.
Bro, this guy's been around forever.
Thank you for the
Why?
super chat.
You're just commenting on his name now.
So, guys, here's the deal. I think we should end the podcast, all right? Because, as I said, I want to get in about 2 hours of gameplay of Elden Ring. And if I end now, and I use the restroom quickly, we should have about enough time for 2 hours. We can end, and then I can change the setup, because what I have to do is swap consoles, get the Capcom presentation set up on the Xbox, also change the format a little bit because I have like the Elden Ring border and everything, so I have to change that around. So give me a few extra minutes rather than me rushing and then missing the beginning of the presentation. Let's say if we start Elden Ring in the next 15 minutes or so, roughly, then I'd be able to play for 2 solid hours and then have time to take a quick break, switch over to the Street Fighter presentation, do the live react properly, and not be rushed to do it, you see? So even though normally I would go at least another 25 minutes on the podcast, I feel like today it makes sense to end it early. I hope that you've enjoyed the show. I hope that you got something out of it. We talked about a lot of topics in this hour, right? Holy crap, did we cover a lot in turbo speed. So thank you for watching, and until next time, when probably we'll have a full-fledged podcast tomorrow, and of course, on tomorrow's podcast, we'll be able to talk about all the stuff we saw during the Street Fighter 6 presentation. We'll be able to talk more about the schedule because we'll actually understand what the schedule is going to be for the weekend and all of that more concretely. But in the meantime, the one thing that I do want to remind you all is that you absolutely must pollinate. Okay, enough of that. All right. So we're going to get set up quickly. And like I said, I am going to quickly use the restroom. And then we're going to begin with Elden Ring. Yes, I know that was kind of a rushed ending. But it's a necessary thing for today. We'll play a couple hours of Elden Ring, like I said. And then we'll set up and we'll do the Street Fighter 6 presentation. Probably around 2:30-ish Pacific time is when we'll get set up for that. So we'll have a little bit of a hype build up for it and everything. Okay. I am not centered. I screwed it up. I think I was almost centered and then I screwed it up. Is that centered? I think that looks centered.
Yeah, right? I'm probably
check here.
I'm probably gonna bounce after this game.
Maybe slightly up, but it looks pretty good.
I got some stuff to do today, you know what I'm saying? And now since Phil is going early.
So, for anyone who purchased the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection on PlayStation, I have a question for you. Okay, so here it is. Here's Final Fantasy V. I've pre-installed it for tonight, so we're good to go for the late stream. Okay, but here's my question. When I bought it, I bought the collection, by the way, not just the one game, so I own all of them and we can play them whenever we want in the future. Something weird happened. So I bought it, and when it had all the things available to download right now, it said it had profile icons. You know how my icon is the Heavy Rain origami right here? See it? So it said that there were profile icons, and it also said that there were themes that you could install on your PS5. And I was like, oh, that's neat. I'd like some of this. So I went to it. I wanted to get a theme for Final Fantasy V, so I went to it, and I clicked on it, and the weirdest thing happened. Instead of downloading the theme, it then took me to the digital page for Final Fantasy VI. And I was like, huh? So I tried again, and it just kept doing it. So I don't know if it's a glitch, if they're not really available, or if maybe you can only get them if you download Final Fantasy VI. They're part of, it comes with that game. I don't get it. I was very confused. And because the game was new when I got it yesterday, there were no answers online about it. So I have no clue. I don't know if they've changed it since then. Like, if you go down here, See, there's nothing. Usually they have like related stuff down here. View product. Play game. Choose edition. And I got this one, the bundle. Yeah, see, it says it comes with theme and avatars. See that? It says it came with theme and avatars, and it claims it's installed. Okay, how do you find themes on your PlayStation 5? Where would the themes be? Up here in settings, maybe? There's a whole theme section. I don't see anything for it. Oh, really? Oh, no. I'm being told it's PS4 themes. Oh. 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 I really wanted a nice retro Final Fantasy theme for my PS5. And people are saying, no, they're PS4 themes because the game is PS4, PS5. That's upsetting. PS5 doesn't have themes. They replaced them with screen changing when you hover over the game. Right, so this would be your Elden Ring theme. This would be your Final Fantasy V theme, which isn't bad. I like that. It's got the characters. It's got the actual, the key art or the logo art of the game. This would be your WWE 2K22 art. Oh. That's not bad for Resident Evil 4. I actually really like that one. Anyway. All right. Let's take a very brief break. All I'm going to do is mute the mic, use the restroom, come right back. And then we're going to start with Elden Ring. Okay, so please be patient. I'll be back in like just a couple minutes, and then we'll start.
Yo, what's up, Nitwit? Yeah, he's scared. He's scared of that Elden Ring, boy.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this for everyone who's being pissy in the chat that I'm not playing Dead Island 2. Shut up. Stop bringing it up because now I'm tired of it. Like now I'm actually officially annoyed by you because there's a bunch of people who are like making jokes. Oh, he's still not playing Dead Island. Shut up. I'm not playing a game I'm not interested in. It's not gonna be good for the channel. You're wasting your time and my time bitching about it. If you want to see Dead Island 2, go watch someone else play it for 2 days and then drop it. Because that's all they're going to do. They're going to play it for the 2 days they get paid to play it. And then they're going to drop the game too. No one cares about this fucking game. Alright? So move on and stop bothering me about it. I don't want to play it. I have no intentions of playing it. I never had intentions of playing it to begin with. It didn't look good. And then we got reviews, and the reviews also corroborated what I thought about the game. You're wasting everyone's fucking time, including mine. I don't want to see people bitching about it in the chat. This is not a bitch fest to complain that I'm not playing a game that I had no intention of playing to begin with. Alright? So stop right now. Because now I'm trying to be nice about it. I am. And if I see it continue, I'm not going to be nice about it anymore. Alright? Because now I've forewarned you. I've had enough. Officially now, you just hit me with enough annoyance that I really have zero interest in this game ever. And I will never play it. Congratulations.
It's so toxic, Phil. Why do you have to do that to us? What an asshole.
My chair moved when I was gone, called a ghost hunter. Well, that's disturbing. I do have a fan on, but I'm fairly certain the fan is not strong enough to make the chair move. So maybe there is a haunted chair, perhaps. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. Call a ghost hunter. Yes. Okay, so I'm removing people who don't listen so that we can actually start and focus on this game. Okay. See, because here's the truth. Here they are. Here's the trolls. Now people are bringing up troll channels and shit. Here you go. So here's the truth. The people that are going to sit here and bitch about it and trying to stir up problems, that's what they're here for. I'm not stupid. So get rid of those people quickly as well. And then we can actually start. I'll wait a minute. I'll wait a minute. Dragon Ball Raging Boner, you know, you've been nice with contributions in the last few days, but now you're doing a double super chat to say something stupid about something very dumb. And if I see that again, you're also going to get out of here too, because I'm really just not in the mood. I'm really just not in the mood for your bullshit today, okay? Thanks.
Phil's not in the mood.
What's up, Jade? How's it going? Excuse me. Am I in the right save room? Yes, I am. There.
All right, guys. Appreciate you chilling. I gotta head out, do some 420 day stuff.
Are we ready to start?
So catch you guys later.
Gary, the reason that I'm mad is because people are being assholes to me, and I don't like that. Especially when I'm coming back from a break, and here we're going to start an awesome new week of streaming, and people take it upon themselves to try to piss me off on purpose, and I don't appreciate that. It's basically very immature, and I'm not putting up with it. I'm just going to end it now so we can actually focus on good stuff this week rather than have to put up with these people's nonsense.
Peace out. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, Dan the man. Get 2 hours of Elden Ring in before the Street Fighter 6 presentation later today. It's like a faucet that's dripping. We're ready to go? We're ready to start? Can we start with gameplay now?
Then I'm like, damn.
DC has a haiku for us.
Post-nasal drip is going. My
Hurry up,
sinuses
man.
are inflamed. My throat is gunked up. What is going on here? Damn. Snort, snort, snort. Code. Drip. Snort, snort. I got the drip go. Snort, snort, snort. Code. Drip. Snort, snort. I got the drip go. Damn. I got the drip go. I got the tips go. Clear your throat. Blow your nose. Damn. Clear your throat. Please tip me. Damn. Post-nasal drip is a constant. It keeps going. It's like a faucet that's dripping. Damn. Snort, snort, snort. Code. Drip. Snort, snort. I got the drip go. Snort, snort, snort. Code. Drip. Snort, snort. I got the drip go. 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 I got the drip go.
Can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear. Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.